Okay, preparing for the standards, I saw that number one on the practice test was about unit conversions, and this was the problem. They said that there's a math book that's 6 inches wide, and they wanted to know how many centimeters that is. Now, while some really bright students can stare at this for a second, the given, they said 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters, so if it's 6 inches, then if it takes one of them to make this many centimeters, then 6 times as big would be 6 times 2.54. Now, while some bright students can do that, they can actually look at this and rationalize that, I would like to introduce, and I am introducing my students to, a way to set up converting units in such a way where you can actually handle really radical problems. And this is going to be pretty much a one-step problem, but we'll start with this simple problem and then we'll move on to the next one where we do a little bit more once we get this concept down. So the first thing you need to realize is when they tell you 1 inch equals 2.54 centimeters, if that's true, then you have to ask yourself, isn't this fraction really a 1? This fraction is equal to 1. You have to think about that for a second, because if 1 inch, if the top is equal to the bottom, which is what they're saying, 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters, if the top is equal to the bottom, then that's no different than 3 over 3, 2 over 2, 1 inch over 2.54 centimeters. Since this is equal to that, this is really a 1. And we're going to use that to our advantage. In fact, we can write this way, or we can write it this way. Whatever way suits us in whatever situation we get in. The situation we're in with this problem is 6 inches. They give us 6 inches. I'm going to put it over 1 because we're going to multiply times fractions, and it'll just look better if I put it over 1. And there's no problem with that because 6 inches divided by 1 is still 6 inches. We're not changing the identity of that value. So I'm going to multiply it times, essentially I'm going to multiply this times a 1, the 1 of my choice. I'm going to put this one down there because inches will end up on the bottom. 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. Therefore, when I multiply this times that, I'm multiplying it times a 1, which is perfectly legal because I'm not actually changing the amount that we're starting with. This times that, since this is a 1, is still going to be equal to the correct length, 6 inches. It's just going to look different because since inches is going to be on top and inches is going to be on bottom, they're going to cancel with each other. We call that cross-canceling. 6 times 2.54, oh gosh, I don't have my calculator handy, but hate to eat up time on the film, but 22, that looks about right. 15.24 centimeters. And you can see inches are gone, centimeters remain, and they're on top. So we, theoretically you could go 1 times 1 equals 1, put it over 1, but we don't have to put it over 1. So the real concept here is that using the multiplicative identity, the 1, is perfectly legal. This times this doesn't change the identity of this, even though it changes the appearance. So in other words, this times 1 is equal to that, even though it looks different. And that's what we want if you really think about it. We want to know 6 inches is equal to that. And that's the concept. This is just a one-step problem. In our next problem we'll do a lot more steps, but we'll still be using the same multiplicative identity times a multiplicative identity times a multiplicative identity. You'll see it will be amazing that you can actually work this out as long as you set it up with this strategy in mind.